Right, hi everyone, my name is Claire. This channel is about empowering you on your twin flame journey, your inner divine feminine, your inner divine masculine, whatever's going on in your twin flame journey. And just bear in mind that because it's I don't always usually say this bit, but they make me say that. Because it's general, it's not always going to make sense to you, and especially because I'm filming this in a Scorpio moon. I can be, with a lot of planets in Scorpio, I can be like scarily, even more so than what I am most of the time. Because again, with my Scorpio placements, I can be. Oh, there's my stomach telling us a story as well. I do need to eat, by the way. I just downed a whole load of lemon water, and you're meant to wait like 30 minutes before you eat anything. So I thought I'll do that because this will be at least 30 minutes. So, um, but yeah, so if I burp and hiccup as well, I don't burp loud if you're new. Well, I always say that about that, and I'm yawning too. That's a sign of releasing as well. Um, Basically, yeah, that's whenever I hiccup and all that. Usually, it's usually when I'm clearing a lot of heavy energy. And Scorpio moons, that always seems to come through stronger. But yeah, the fact that I was yawning there as well, that yawning's a really good shit. That can, that for somehow they're making me connect that with like trauma release. Because again, I don't go too deep into like my own. Again, I always laugh because it's like, oh, so before I say this, everything I do is channeling. If you're new, okay, because the OG soul fam around here know that, and I'm sure you people that have found me like the last few weeks have gathered that's how it goes too. But if you're new, everything I do is channeling, meaning that everything I say, and from the minute I start doing this, because that's just how I am offline as well. Everything that I'm saying is going to have something to do with the message, and the things that I pick up before. Like, so for instance, this is a um, coaster that sits in my hall, but they made me pick that up to bring through here, so it's going to have like this message has got something to do with proving them wrong. I feel, I mean, in Scorpio Moon. Oh yeah, and I'll just finish my wee intro there as well. Is that so everything I do is channeling, clearing, and healing energy. So what I mean by that is I'm always channeling and healing energy, right? I'm always praying for whatever the situations are that you need help with. Obviously, it's going to be more. You're going to feel more benefits of this if you're actually, if I'm homing in on you alone. Like if this, oh look, home alone. That's what the fuck is that, mate? That's interesting because I saw an advert for. In fact, never mind an advert. I think it was actually Home Alone that was on when I was changing the channel yesterday. That's got to mean something. So it literally everything means something. Um, so somebody could be spending a lot of time alone. Oh yeah, somebody could be spending a lot of time alone going through an ascension. This definitely feels like very masculine. You know, going through their ascension. Basically that's a man in love. There's two men on the cards. That's a man ascending the karmic energies. At the top of the mountain, it's been a challenge, but and again, I feel it's some kind of shocking event that has like made this divine masculine do it. So again, another thing that I'll do is most of the time I'm going to channel it a divine masculine. I'm going to like describe that as a man and divine feminine as a woman. It's just because that's the situation that I'm in, right? And but majority, ironically, a lot of the clients that I could attract are women that are appearing as the divine masculine energy, and occasionally I get males coming to me that are in the divine feminine energy. So and I'm always open to that being other ways around. And actually, more recently as well, like it's I'm attracting men, but it's like it's not always as clear cut as I've just described. So I just want to say that for anyone else that's going to resonate with this, like some of the men that are following me, um, yeah, don't assume that you're the divine feminine energy because you're tapped in, tuned in, tapped in, tuned in, turn on. You know what I mean? Like because you're accessing your spiritual gifts, because you could actually just be really, really in touch with your feminine side. Um, and like for all we know, like you are the divine masculine predominantly tapping into your feminine side, right? And you got led to me to support you with that. and then you'll come back around to be reunited with your divine feminine, you know what I mean? So I just felt the need to say that because yeah, but again, this is where it's like, you know, there's no way of me knowing. Like until I speak to you on a call, there's no way of me knowing. I get quite a good sense of it, a very good sense of it, basically through hearing your story and getting a conversation, which is why, like I've explained, um, the the initial call, if you'd never had a call with me before, if you were new or if you were not new but you'd never had the call, was meant to just be a wee quick 15-minute, oh, I'll meet you, you know, see if you're, let me know what sessions you're interested in. And it was free for a while, and then, you know, for about 5 minutes, I put a donation thing on it, and I was like, nah, it needs to now just go back to um, what I've, and again, I'm trialing this too, is that, you know, if it's your very first session, as in, to make it clear, if you've never been on any kind of Zoom with me before or video call, you can get that at that price and you can tell me your story. Because basically, if I've heard your twin flame story before, even if it was ages ago, it's only fair, you know, like that's, I don't need to, and I know things might have changed in that, but I don't need to hear it again because that's basically it. It's kind of not, that's not fair to me. It's not kind of, it's very not fair to me. So if it has been a long time and you would like a session with me, you're going to have to book the crystal clear clarity one, which will be significantly more money if you hadn't worked with me. And well, actually, I don't know. It's been that for 2 or 3 years now. No, it's been that for 3 years now. So yeah, if you hadn't worked with me for 3 years though, so anyway, I don't know why I'm saying that either. But so lightning, sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, transformation, but also, so that's going to have something to do with this too. What else? There's a hypnosis session at the old price of the 144 as well. So, but make sure you book the one that's relevant, right? Because the one that is 144 that I've just described, that is for people that are new, or it is if you've never had a call with me, right? Book that so that I know, you know, basically, you know, I'll email you anyway. Like if I feel the need to email you, you know what I mean. I will email you to send you the Zoom link anyway. But and then, but no, if you have had a session before, but you think, right, I feel like a hypnosis session would be good. So read the description. If you don't feel like that's going to suit your needs, then, you know, that's not the one for you. But yeah, any other session that people need, it is the crystal clear clarity one, because that gives you access to, it just means that I've got more room, freedom to do different stuff with you, because like I said, I have got like a ridiculous amount of skills, you know, to be working with. So like, and I have been advised like in the past that really like my stuff should be more money, but it's like that's what's comfortable with me, because that's just it is, you know. But like again, but what's been meant by that is that because my sessions are so long, really it's like you're getting a group of sessions all in one go, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, yeah, it's hard to describe unless you've been on a session. If you've been on a session with me, you'll find well what I mean. If you've not had a session with me, you'll find out. But it's something that I'm closely monitoring again, like, because right, yeah, this is again, I didn't foresee going into all this big chat, but they must want me to say that. Something I have to explain is if you don't understand about soul retrieval, right, it's not like, oh, you get one soul retrieval for your inner child or one soul retrieval for your shadow, and with me you're all healed and you're ready to go and you're ready to do all this shit. It can give you a lot of strength, right? And it can momentarily, like after the 3 weeks have passed, make you feel like you just, you know what I mean, you get this big burst of energy and a big burst of fresh air. But if you go back to your old ways and you keep the same people around you, you keep the same karmic patterns, you know, you don't kind of keep up with like your positive affirmations and speaking kind to yourself and self-care, you know, it is a lot of work, you know, to be a human full stop, but like to be on the twin flame journey and to really be loving yourself, but also making sure that you're like aware of all the mirroring that goes on with you and your twin and all this kind of stuff. So I suppose what they're just getting me to stress there is, and take out the twin flame stuff, like proper shamanic healing on a journey is a lifelong, never mind years, it's a lifelong journey, but it's definitely years before reaching that, full empowerment. So it's when you're doing work with a proper shaman, which I am, by the way. It's because again, I have to keep saying that because there's so many people that just call themselves things nowadays, just like for willy-nilly kind of thing, and I'm just making clear I'm not just picking names out of a hat and calling myself that, you know what I mean? But yeah, basically it's like, it's like a bit of an energetic hand holding. Like it's really about, like, I listen to where you're at and I'll be by identifying, right, that's a bit of inner child work, or that's a bit of shadow work, or with some of the older people that I've had this year, I'll be able to identify, like, whoa, there's like several, I could identify like several different soul retrievals that are needed, like way beyond what you could do in one session. Like I only do like more than one soul retrieval with someone in one session if I've done work with them before and I feel like they can handle it. Or occasionally if it's the first time I've met you and I can just feel that whatever you've done prior to meeting me, you've got, enough strength, then I'll do two, a push. But really, even people that are fully empowered, like say for instance, if I'm going to somebody for support, um, I could handle quite a few soul retrievals, but then I'll be exhausted because you've got to integrate the energy. So this is what I mean by, like, when I say that thing about, like, it's not a race, it's not a competition, it's about your own healing journey, and it's about understanding that like calling back the lost soul fragments, like, because basically that's through trauma. It's a big deal. And that's what I started saying was, I don't go into all the ins and outs of the stuff that I'm working on personally for myself, even though like what I was laughing about, what I was going to say when I started is you might think that I do, but I really don't, right? I'll tell you bits and bobs, but definitely, like, there are bits about, like, what am I trying to say here? So recently, like, yeah, like, I can tell that they're guiding me to focus on a lot of stuck trauma release, right? And the thing that's interesting is, like, that they'll do that in lots of different ways. Like sometimes I'll just be guided to watch a film, right? That's going to make me cry, and it's because it'll tap into something and it'll be able to, like for instance when I've spoke about the after films, because I think they are wanting me to watch the after films again. Which, remember, there's wait a minute, is there five? There's four of them, and I love them, and they are very Plutonian Scorpio-ish, and like very intense, deep love, which is brilliant for teaching about codependency and stuff as well, and why a twin flame separation is so needed, to come back around in a healthier way. So if you're looking for something to watch, the second to the last one are on Prime, and I think the first one's on Netflix. I've not got Netflix, so if you're like me, you might need to watch the first one on YouTube, but it is on YouTube and it's fine. You can either watch it on your phone or I put it on my telly, through the YouTube. So, but they're very spicy, guys. So I'm just, if you get a bit embarrassed with the old sex scenes, you might want to watch that on your own. But yeah, no, I think I'm gonna. I think if I'm stuck for something to watch for the next couple of days, I think I might watch them again because it's been a while. Oh, actually, and I caught 50 Shades of Grey last night too. So yes, very Scorpio. There's very Scorpio Plutonian theme coming in already. Come to think it. So, what else was good? Right. So I was actually going to start. So whatever all that's got to mean, but for some reason, again, like I said, I go the flow because I'm an open channel. I just go the flow, and so there must at least one person or some people might be wondering about that out there. Oh yeah, but what I was getting at is I know personally for myself, right? Years and years and years ago, right, before I was doing my counselling training, before I was like deep in my own therapy, like, as in me going to my own counsellor, which, if you're new, I went to for 7 years. So again, it's not only that I'm a counsellor or a therapist in America, as you call it, It's actually the fact that I actually saw my own counsellor for a whole karmic cycle, 7 years. And as I always say, I give the same spiel. I would have saw her for longer if she wasn't retiring. Like, that's hilarious, isn't it? But it's the truth. But she was really proud of me, like where she left me. And by the way, can I just say, she was really proud of the growth in me. But like, do you know what was really interesting? Like, I wasn't ready to end with her because actually, I don't think I've ever actually said this, but my counsellor unfortunately retired right when I was in the middle of this, like going through shocking news and sudden changes and with people around me. So, you know, I really fucking needed that support, and that was ripped away from me. You know what I mean? Like, obviously I know I'm always gonna have a connection to my counsellor, because it was beyond, yeah, like, what I mean is it was beyond I don't know. I feel just because of how intense and deep I am, when I attract people that are going to be there to help me, it's never going to be like mediocre, boring. And I just feel, you know, she'll always be special to me. Like, for instance, like, she gave me this tiny little picture that was in her house. It was like a little, I think it was like Winnie the Pooh and Christopher Robin or something. And like, um, I can't even remember why she just, I think she basically wanted me to have something to remember her by, you know what I mean? So, and if you think about it, they're best friends, aren't they? I mean, so it's kind of like, it was like, I think she knew that whenever I saw that, it would trigger me to be like, you know, to, yeah, just to remember the support that I've, so I don't know why I'm going into all of this as well, but what I'm trying to say is, like, before I'd done all of that, when I used to cry, I would hyperventilate, right? I'd be like, like, I wouldn't be able to speak, right? And it was like, and I just thought, oh, that's how everybody cries, right? And it's like, but I then learned that that was like when you're not able to hold on to your experience, right? Um, through trauma. And again, that's why I always say, everybody's got trauma, right? We've got trauma from everywhere. I've never met one person that doesn't have trauma, basically, right? And again, I've also met people that it's like, you say that to them and they're like, I've not got childhood trauma, or I've not got this, right? We have. Even if you think you haven't, trust me, you have, right? Um, everybody's families, I'm sure, have done the best that they can with the best of their ability. Although I always like to buffer that with, you know, you can't always say that for some people. With some of the horror stories that I've heard from some of my clients, some people's parents actually don't deserve children. Sorry, like that. I'm just going to say it point blank. Like, honestly, with some of the ways that, because you just, that's a bold statement. But I don't usually say that, but the fucking hell, they must be picking up something pretty dark, like toxic. It's true. I've heard people of all ages, older and the same age and younger, that have told me things that have just made my jaw drop. So, you know, be grateful if you're like, oh, there's nothing like that for me, because it's definitely, some of the stories I've heard, it certainly made me just, you know, more grateful for stuff. But anyway, so unfortunately, fucking hell, with me saying that is just going to be about, right, so just, yeah, toxic, this could be about toxic, well, I suppose toxic family, to be honest, with what I've just said there. Or I more thought I was going to go with toxic friends, though, because, but I've mentioned, just stay open-minded, this could be about all of it. Friends, family, present lovers, ex-lovers, and whatever else it could be. Like, maybe you're going to prove them all wrong, like, and then they've led me that too. I want to tell you the truth. I'm going to put that back, and I'll put that back and shuffle, see if it comes out, and I'll use those cards. Right, I think we better, let's just shuffle this, because what's the theme here? Because they actually wanted me to sing a wee song at you. Again, if you're new, I do that a lot, but they wanted me to sing most of the song because it went off on my alarm. And I was actually pretty much sleeping, because you just pulled me the word rest when I said that. Because, like I said, when this is in the part of my chart where it is wise for me just to sleep through it if I can, or rest. And I like to do that on a Monday anyway. Submit to God and be at peace with him. In this way, prosperity will come to you. Wow, Job 22:21. But you see, that's what that's about. This feels like this is going to resonate with a divine masculine. Again, you don't need to be a man. It's just there is a man on that card. You could be a divine masculine female and resonate with this too. But I feel this is going to be about a divine masculine, and you get it. That's what they're telling me. See, it's like you get it. It's like you're ascending, climbing the mountain above toxicity. Now, whether it's as toxic as I just described, like it won't be for every person, but that is what's sort of coming through here. And it's like this feels like this person, if this is you, is having to rely on the instructions from God, from like a higher power. The Lord is near to all who call on him, to all who call on him in truth. Psalm 145:18. Right. Right, so now I'm going to sing the song, right? So this is, now I'm going to sing the song, that's quite funny. It's 21 minutes as well. 21 is the world card. Something's a karmic cycle's completing. I don't always, no, I do always say the same thing. Closing, completing. It feels like somebody has, this is what I'm feeling, is it feels like somebody has learned their lesson about karmic people. And it's like, or if you're not in this place, you're going to be able to, the penny's going to drop soon or something. But I feel whoever I'm picking up, this person knows. But it's like these energies are really angry because they've not got a grip on you anymore. They've not got a hold on you. They can't manipulate you in the way that they did before. This is so sad because I've saw loads of other people picking up on the same messages that I've actually been given for months, and they're only picking up on it now. Because like I said, I do pick up on things years in advance and months in advance. It's to do with my astrology. Well, it's to do with being a seer, but it's to do with my astrology. I'm way forward thinking. Like actually, it's quite funny. Like, you know how I've been doing that for months and weeks, and I've actually seen a few other people doing that. So again, but it can be just people getting inspired to do it, or who knows. But I mean, some people could be watching it for all I know. But it's whatever it is. I feel it's tapping into like, because remember, but like, it was those cards I'd got months ago, and then it was like that synchronistically found that book with scriptures. So I just feel the scriptures are fucking wanting to make their way into these. So clinging, holding on, obsessing, spying. So, but basically what I mean by that is I'm like, that's not, actually I'm saying that for a reason, because although I'm saying that but not in a shady way. Now look what they're pulling me to. You're being shady, watch out, shit could get ugly. And spying, like, because that's, wait a minute, I'm going to get to that. I think because remember, this is Scorpio energy, it's like psychic detective. I know that, so like on the not so innocent side, when I was in and out of sleep, they were telling me that there's some of these longer ones that I'm going to do. Like, actually, probably the one I'm going to get into, that, like, I feel this is going to be quite a long video, and it's like, when I start talking about the film that I watched yesterday, I think these ones might be like basically the ones that I'll most of the time be guided to put on one of the levels of the membership. I don't know what level yet, because I did name the different levels ages ago, and like, but I'm still sorting out how advanced I want each level to be. And to be honest, I might start off just by offering one level, but I think I'll probably just go full blown all of the levels, because I've got, like I said at the start, I've got a lot of skills and I want to utilise them all. And so it's different levels of what people want. But they were all, unfortunately, they were saying to me as well, it is because I do know for a fact right now, I know that there are a few channels that I do feel, right, like they will get downloads from the things that I get, because I'm a smaller channel and they're bigger channels. And then now I don't know whether I don't think they have the brass neck to sort of put it out in public, because I don't watch these channels, right? And it's kind of like, but when other people have got, like, different things that are separate from the main channel, I had a conversation with one of you guys, actually, like one of the people that I've worked with in the past, about just being like, you know, it has occurred to me, and it's not just occurring to me, it's like God giving me a heads up, my guides, right? Like, not to be naive about that. Because just because I'm a smaller channel now, and like, you know, who's going to bother about me because I'm a smaller channel, especially when I was just dancing about at the hundreds. And the thing is, I'm only at 1,000. You know what I mean? I'm aware that this is not a big channel. It's good for, you know, it's good for me and it's good for us. And I feel like that guy. Like, I've climbed the mountain, but we've climbed the mountain together. You helped like me climb the mountain too. But yeah, it's just something about that. So I don't really want to go on about it too much, but it's just something about like I think with some of these more advanced downloads that I get, when it's like I think I'd just rather have them on a bit more of a private platform. But I mean, I can't stop if that is going on, because basically my guys have said that that is going on. And I've got a fair idea. Like I said, it's not just it's I can think of a couple, but it's whatever, you know. Like, we could, if some see it as inspiration, some see it as copying. It depends what, you know. If somebody is actually seeing what you've said and then they're putting it to their audience as if, oh, this is a download I've had, like, that's not true, is it? Because you've actually saw somebody else say it, and then so that's so I don't know. That's something that you can't prove, but I suppose they're just getting me to say out loud that it's like, I'm aware. I'm aware. Um and again, other people might be like, Claire, that's not happening. You know, you don't get enough views, and it's like, trust me, it's some of the views could be, yeah, it could be. I wouldn't like to think so, but I think the fact that I'm even saying it says that. So, holding on, obsession, spying, you're being shady. Yeah, so whatever that's about. But I also feel now that's going into like karmic partners that are holding on, obsessing, spying. Like, and watch out, shit could get ugly. So if that, only you're gonna know if that's you. So isn't that fucking weird? That sounds like, oh my god, that sounds like I'm describing. So bear in mind, this might not, yeah, wherever that is, this, it's either what springs to mind is, it's like, because this is specifically about me, but this could actually be a warning for those of you that something could similar, because it's like, this happened to me on Facebook too. Like, I would put things out in public. I would, you know, channel like written things that people loved, and then I caught wind, like, people would tell me, oh, by the way, somebody's like literally took what you've written and they're posting it in their own group as if it's theirs. So this has got to have some kind of meaning to someone. So it might not necessarily be that someone's doing it to me, but they're just, this is the message they're giving me. That, like, I can easily see how that could be happening. Like, whether it's people that have got, you know, oh, go to the extended, and then in the extended thing, it's like people can do that, or go to Patreon, or go to like whatever else, or go to the YouTube membership, or it could just be like, you know, people that have got smaller scale things and they're doing things in a Facebook group. I don't know, but there's some kind of shit like that. And the thing is, it's like, don't, if that's, don't let that shit bother you, right? Because again, I've been there, done that, wore a t-shirt. Don't let that shit bother you, because there's always going to be some idiot doing that. And actually, if you've got quite a bigger platform, which, like I said, I don't deem this to be that yet. Have you seen how much people have to say? You know, like, they get, although to be honest, those people could do more to protect their energy. It kind of frustrates me when I see that happening, because if it's happening on a, like, all the time on a big scale, people might be a bit complacent about protect their energy. But anyway, I really don't like that message, but it is coming through. But it's weird, because it's like, I think it might be about basically people swindling you in business, or taking advantage, or I don't know. So anyway, that's, I just trust there's going to be something in all of that. But anyway, the point is to bring it back to practicalities of whatever all that message is going to mean. Because think about it, like, I'm just breaking it down to be like, well, this is my business, so if people were doing that to me, that's not very fair, because it's my stuff. Well, it depends. Actually, you can break it down to be like, it's I'm getting the messages from my guides in the divine. So in that case, that's where you can get all philosophical about it, where it's like, it's all just coming through. But you know, it gets a bit complicated, doesn't it? It's like, it's like, whenever I see something, whenever I've watched something, and like, basically, it's like, yeah, I wouldn't claim it was mine. I'd be like, oh, I was watching someone else and they said this, and I'm going to see if I pick up on the same. But I don't even do that often. They were making me do that. So, but I'm not talking about that. That's like you're picking up on the same stuff. Like what I'm saying about people that are being guided to use scriptures and stuff, or it's just more kind of more biblical stuff that's coming in. Like I feel that's like a wave of us that are being inspired to do that. And yeah, it wouldn't be surprised if I'm one of the first ones that have done it, because that's usually what happens. That was always the way for the past 10 years. It's like I get inspired first and then there's a wave of people. So but then there's something quite different if it's like some kind of unique ideas, and people are just taking them, like in some kind of way. It wouldn't be fair to you. So I don't know what that means. It's going to be different to different people. But anyway, and I think that is what they're meaning about, like, some of these bigger downloads that I get through films are really huge, and I know that. And like, there's ones I've done ages ago, and they're going on my. But again, people could still be shady and fucking join the membership to anything. But again, you'd have to be a bit fucking sad to do that. I don't really think I need to worry about that. But just now anyway, guys. Who gives a shit? If somebody has to do that, it's just sad. They lack originality. If somebody's doing that to you, they lack originality. And like I said, I don't know for a fact. I've just got a sense. Right, okay, so I'm going to sing this song because it's going to have meaning. So, I'm still alive, but I'm barely breathing. Just pray to God that I don't believe in. Cause I got time, well, she got freedom. Cause when a heart breaks, no, it don't break even. Her best days will be some of my worst. She finally met a man that's gonna put her first. While I'm wide awake, she's no trouble sleeping. Cause when her heart breaks, no, it don't break even. Now you get the gist, but what am I supposed to do when the best part of me was always you? What am I supposed to say when I'm all choked up and you're okay? I'm falling to pieces. Wait a minute. They say bad things happen for a reason, but no wise word's going to stop the bleeding. Cause she's moved on while I'm still grieving. Right, so what's that all about? Who the fuck knows? But what I can tell you is, look at this. Can you see? Is it going to go into focus? Yeah, 1444. 144. So it's going to make sense to people that are, oh God, caught in the ruins. That's not what I thought I was going to say, but so, yeah, that actually does kind of sound like that, doesn't it? That it's like somebody's having trouble sleeping while somebody's free. So that feels like a divine masculine's having trouble sleeping while, well, look, the lightning bolt and the lightning. Oh, basically, it feels like a divine masculine in regret caught. And I just picked up again. I'm shuffling, putting them in order, and it just came out again, caught in the ruins. And someone's caught either trapped in their mindset, or trapped with another person, or trapped the karmic family, karmic friends. Some people can be trapped with all of it, but being called to a fated meeting. Look, I'm just turning them all the right, like, round the right way, and they're pulling me these cards. What does this say? The Queen of Scrolls. I always feel like that is a divine feminine. Look, because her third eye is glowing. That's a divine feminine, like, guiding someone through the Akashic records out of the dark. That could be connected to Saint Germain. Like, that could, well, look, that's my energy. But like I said, this, so it could be this could make sense to people that are either in the same wave. It doesn't mean all the details of what I say, by the way, are like, well, let's fucking hope not, because this one feels very dark. It could be bits and bobs of it. Though, like I said, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't always know. I could get a sense, but I don't always know. I have to put that out of the way. This feels like a divine feminine, like, third eye's lit. She can read the Akashic records, connected to Saint Germain. And it feels like the masculine's well, because if the feminine's connected to Saint Germain, the masculine's connected to Saint Germain. Initiation and the Count Saint Germain. But because it says initiation on that too, I feel like that's somebody's been enlightened to how powerful they are. Like Akashic Library was behind. But remember, these are the Akashic Tarot, so they're going to have that word in it. I'm just going to turn them, before I keep getting guided to, right, let's see, turn them all around the right way. Thank you for your patience. You might have had to be very patient on this journey with me saying that. So basically, that's the song that led me, because I was, like I said, I was sleeping and the fucking alarm went off. But again, it is late in the day. I mean, the alarm went off at 2, but it's because I was awake, till ridiculous time in the morning again, because I can feel a lot of people not being able to sleep, and God, how are they all round the wrong way again? I just sorted them and it's done it again. See, this is going to have meaning. Every time somebody feels like they're getting their life in order, things go all over the place again. Right. I'm going to put them down for now, but I've given them a good shuffle. Okay, right. They're just reminding me, I watched one that I filmed like 2 months ago in April, right? And it was actually really quite like what I've just, obviously, like the unique thing that I've just went into about people lifting others' ideas or work. I've used it in terms of what my work is, because that's the easiest examples that they could give me. But it's whatever work yours is. Your work could be completely different to mine. You could be a woman or a man, or but it's something that's unjust, right? So it's something that is your unique idea and somebody's oh, it feels like shit, like smear campaign and that. Actually, that's what it feels like. It feels like when people are like, I don't know, something like that. Like, it feels like spell work. It feels like when somebody, because again, you know how I said the other day, I made that joke about like, oh, it feels like someone's done kind of spell work where someone's put in a jar or something. And it's like, I said it jokingly, but there are fucking weird people that do shit like that, honestly. And honestly, I pray for you if you do that to people, because the karma that is going to come back on you for doing that to people that don't deserve it is going to be, not good. But it's the amount of collective readings that I've been drawn to where somebody actually pulls a card where, like, I just watched one earlier before I fell asleep, and it was literally like someone was in a jar. I'm not even kidding you. It's a card where it's a jar and someone's trapped in a jar. It gave me chills. And then there was one I caught yesterday or the other day, same thing. Someone was in a fucking jar. It was a different card. And I don't really want those cards, because I don't want to pick up on that. I could just pick up on that, but it was, having the visual was quite shocking, because it's like they were confirming. This is what I mean. See what I mean? Like, I'm sharing with you that I've saw another collective reading where that's happened. So it means that if you've seen the same video as me, you will know what I mean, right? So that's not lifted. It's just sort of like, using that as an example to, but that, whatever I was talking about at the start isn't the same as that. That's at the start sounds something that's not of integrity. That sounds like yeah, it just sounds like, if you're seeing something in public and then it's like you've got somewhere where you can actually like claim, oh, this is a download that I'm getting, but you're giving it to an audience that's away from something, like, so must be things like that. And like I've said, it might not be exactly that, but they do keep giving me that example. They keep saying it, and they've been talking to me about that for ages, actually. It's just like when I've said, you know what I mean? Like, it's when people just slink off. Like, it's hard, because sometimes it's because they fall out of resonance, but I'm so scared to change. But sometimes it is because it's like they're guilty of something, um, or they want to be seen as the expert. You know what I mean? So it's like, right. Anyway, if that is unique and specific to me, it's like whatever, because it would be people that have been off my radar for years now. So like, right. Oh yeah. So this was the other thing they gave me before that song went off. They were showing me a scene from the film Hypnotic, right, with Ben Affleck. It's a really creepy film, right? It's a thriller, but I'd call it like a thriller horror, because it has got a lot of blood and guts and that, which I really don't like, right? But I watched it during the day, and then another time I watched it during the day again, and it just fascinated me because it's just terrifying, really, with all the. See, maybe what I'm saying, I'm wondering if this is for the membership. I don't think it is, though. I don't think. Again, like I keep saying, that it's kind of weird because I keep tapping into things that I've done for the membership, because there's quite a lot of unlisted videos that you haven't seen yet, obviously, because they're unlisted. And because I do see in the future, it's like I keep doing things and I'm like, I think I'm like that. This might possibly be one where I show it on the membership first and then I release it to the public further down the line. That might be what it is. But equally, I could just put this out today. I really don't know until I've watched it back. But anyway, I've channeled about that film before, and it is creepy and it's just scary because it really shows you why I talk about all the time, like protect your mind, and like hypnotherapy is very, very real. It can be real, like amazing for good, real change, but it's the world and the darkness in the world use it for evil, basically. So you have to be aware. Actually, what I'm describing really reminds me of trauma-based mind control, basically. So that's why I'm saying, I'm like, right, is this on the membership? Like, am I putting this on the membership so that it's. But again, there's loads of other people. There's big, massive channels that talk about this too. I mean, it's not news to a lot of people. But again, obviously, I know how to heal somebody that has endured, like, not just trauma, like, really, really dark. Well, what I just said, which you might not be aware of, like, because they do need deliverance if you have, because that's the devil, that is, I mean, it's words I don't really want to use, to be honest, but it's very dark, you know what I mean? So, but if you think about it on a lower scale, that can be done to people, and it's still dark, but it's not as dark as like that, where from when you're young, you're around toxic mindsets, like, that are like that could be like, stop crying, what are you crying for? Like, and then a child internalizes that as, oh, I'm not allowed to cry. Like, well, I'm a man, I don't cry. But that can happen to women too. And again, that's just can be a generational pattern, a generational curse that's been passed down, and somebody needs to be the person to stop it. A generational curse breaker, which is what I am. It's what you are if you're watching this video, I'd imagine. And you can be of any age. Like I've said, I've helped people my mum and dad's ages, and I've helped my mum and dad break generational curses in their fact. Whenever I've no, but trust me, it'll be fucking. Well, it is fucking annoying for them. Whenever I notice something that's like, this isn't healthy, and it feels right, I'll be like, can we just, let's get to the root of it, and sometimes people are in the mood and sometimes they're not. But really, again, it's what was it? I'm not going to tell you exactly what it was, but what I will say, because I'm smiling, laughing at myself. There was something the other day that I said to my dad something about astrology on the phone. And, he just stays quiet. But then what I found really sweet, so this is when we find out if my dad's spying or not, I don't know. But he did that, what I'd said, it was just basically a bit of a warning. He had, like, it was like he had then said the same information to my mum, but not in a slagging me off way, like in a kind of like, he'd taken it seriously. And honestly, it really did actually make me feel a bit choked up, because I thought that's something it's a shame that, again, I was about to say older people. My dad wouldn't like being called an older person, right, even though he is. But it's kind of like, do you know what I'm saying? Like other generations, shall we say, like there's something that's been drummed in to a lot of people, we'll just say, regardless of age, because it really doesn't matter what, that, like, not to show that, so you know what I mean, like not to kind of, and it's just it's hard to describe. It's that either way, like, so I've just known that, it's kind of like, I know that, like, my dad's really proud of different parts of my work, you know what I mean? But sometimes I've only sort of heard that when he's like, actually, like when I meet somebody else, it's like, oh yeah, your dad was telling me all that, and I'm like, really, was he? And it's kind of like, this is weird. Although I'm talking about my dad, I can break down the dad to divine masculine energy, right? And it's kind of like when a divine masculine, so let's get these cards, thinks really highly of a divine feminine. Did that card just say I'm waking up? I'm sure it did. I'm going to shuffle them sideways because I've not got them round the right way. I'm sure it did just say I'm waking up though, right? And that's kind of interesting because that's not a coincidence. That's exactly what I thought when that happened over the weekend. Is I thought, oh my god, my dad is waking up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because it's like if somebody is starting to acknowledge like things that you say about astrology are actually, you know, that wait a minute, that really does resonate. That's somebody waking up. But I feel this has definitely got something to do with, yeah, when, because I've had that in the past, you know what I mean? Like, basically, like, do you think this person just doesn't even give a shit? Like, because that's the impression they give off, that's the act that they give off. But actually, they think very highly of you. And other people could be like, oh, yeah, you know, like, you know, they talk about, they think really high, and you're like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you sure? And I feel that's the kind of vibe. They obviously, you know, not everybody. That's not, you know, lots of divine feminines know that there's divine masculine thinks highly of them, but I'm just putting that aside to be like, because like I've said very openly the whole time and been more honest on some videos, definitely the one I done the other day. It can, you know, it can seem like, yeah, it can seem like your divine masculine fucking hates you sometimes, but remember that's like it is the other half of you, so that's quite an interesting one when that happens like that. Oh my god, look at all of them. I'm coming. I'm sorry for everything I said and did. I promise I'll make it right between us. I'm coming back. So that could be the thing that's shocking here. You might not have been in somebody's like plans, you know, like, and I feel what I'm getting here is, I mean, equally you could have been, but I'm feeling whatever I'm picking up on here, it's like, I'm going to keep that one out. It feels like self-sabotaging. It feels like somebody has always, you've been somebody's dream, and it feels like the people around somebody, and again, I'm not like, it's hard to describe what I'm saying. They're getting me to say it's like, it's not like, it's everybody else's fault. Like, it's not everybody else's fault around this divine masculine, all the people that feel like this. But I know because of some of the calls I've had lately too, it's like, this masculine, if you're this masculine or this is yours, you didn't believe in yourself because the people around you didn't encourage you to believe in yourself. You know what I mean? Which is why I'm saying it's like, it's not always like, oh, it's not always like our mums and dads are not encouraging us with stuff because they don't want us to develop. Sometimes it's because they didn't get it, you know what I mean? And they don't really know how to respond. Or like, that's why I was just saying that about my dad. It's like, sometimes it's like, you know, he's taking it in and he's listening to it all. But then he won't think to be like, oh yeah, that's a bit. But actually, sometimes he's really good at that. Like in tech, you know, he'll know. Like if I'm just trying to think. I'm sure there was something the other week that I'd done, and he knew it was a big deal to me, and he was like, you know, well done, I'm proud of you, kind of thing. Like, and it was over a text, you know what I mean? But that takes a lot, I think, for some people's mums and dads, because they just never fucking got it themselves. You know what I mean? And you just have to take that on the chin sometimes. That's what it's about. But I'm actually really proud of my mum and my dad for how they've taken on board bits and bobs and what's it, because it's not always, I'm not going to go all in ins and outs of that, but it's not always been easy, because it's like, it can seem, especially when it's a child talking to a parent, it can be deemed as cheeky, can't it? But I feel now, you know, it's yeah, I don't know, anyway, whatever that all means. So a child, so maybe I'm saying that but maybe that's not how it's going down for some of you. That it's like, if you try to sort of, I feel this is somebody that's piecing together the downloads I've had when I've been sleeping there. It's like, I feel that this is like, yeah, I think that this is like, you're trying to better your life, and people are trying to pull you back down from ascending, because that card said the ascent with dirty tactics, but they're annoyed they can't do it anymore. And like, now this person, look, I just saw the card that said I'm angry, and I feel this divine, like, I'm angry and I cry sometimes, I've shed tears of our connection. I get what they're saying. It's like someone has like acted in a way that they're not proud of, but it was highly, highly encouraged and influenced by others around them, whether that's karmic friends, karmic family. For some people, it can be their actual, like, there's some really fucked up situations out there where it can be like people's like karmic partners, like seriously, like, because some folk are like so desperate to keep somebody that they'll be like, they'll know about somebody having feelings for someone else, but who knows? I'm a fool. I'm sorry that I lied to you. It was wrong, and admitting that now. I'm a fool for hurting you hurts me. Like, kind of like, it gives me that image of like if somebody like, I don't know, catches some kind of evidence or something of somebody having feelings for somebody else, and then they manipulate them to stay, and then they poison the Divine Masculine's mind to get back in. That's all like, to me, that all then gets into fucking EastEnders storylines, because it's like, but like that's a program here, by the way, that's very dramatic, but I must be saying that one for a reason. I'm interested. I know you're focusing on other things. It makes me curious about what you're doing. I want to share your dreams. I watch. Look what I just said. I'm your secret admirer. I watch your social media. Search you online. Sometimes try to be real. That's the card where I was like, I'm okay, stalker. But what if that is like talking about like people's karmic partners that are stalking divine feminines? You know what I mean? Because you think about it, like, that's kind of what I was describing with it, but that kind of did sound like gang stalking, what I was describing about the work stuff. You know what I mean? Like, because I do get I get emails fairly often, like from people that are wanting to, like, basically that are just making me offers and that, like, for work, and I just half the time I don't even fucking open them because they're bullshit. But that's basically what I'm saying. People are watching, but who are these people? Like, come to think of it, because there's one in particular that keeps doing it. But then I'm just thinking about, there was some other apparent independent one that done it. Now, they could be completely innocent, but at the same time, so again, that's a bit awkward actually, because like I said, like, I don't know if that's just some random that's like targeted me for their business and they don't watch everything I do, or if it's somebody that watches everything I do. But there was one the other week there, and it seemed quite genuine, but I just don't like the way in which they've done it, because it was like, I've been in all those business groups where they teach you to do that, so I know exactly what they're doing, and that's why I left these business groups, because I just thought it was seedy. It's like, and I suppose it's because in shamanic work, like, I don't solicit people. I don't like, you'll hear other YouTubers saying that all the time, like, people that do healing work and readings, they don't reach out to you. You reach out to them. But that's definitely the way with me, because I'm a shaman overall, everything else that I do, it's about healing. So I don't like reach out to people being like, oh, you need this. It's like, it's, it's in these general readings, it'll come through, like, it'll keep coming through. It'll keep saying someone needs a soul retrieval, someone needs a soul retrieval. Because actually, in the one that I watched, one of the unlisted ones, it reminded me, it did keep saying, it kept going on about someone that needed a soul retrieval. So that might be one that I'm meant to publish again. Not again, like, publish it, because it never got published, because there's really quite a lot of them sitting there. And it was for a reason that I held some of them back. It was just because it hadn't caught up to... It just hadn't caught up to when it was going to make sense to people, but they're telling me a lot of them will make sense to more people now, so... Oh, I don't know, like, that's freaking me out though. It is very Scorpio, it is very dark side of Scorpio though, where there's, just be careful, when people are like making you offers. I'd rather just do my own thing, to be honest. Like, because I've been, I'm just laughing. I had a, who is that? Oh yeah, that was like, the person I was talking to about this will be probably laughing. Like, I was reflecting on just some of the experiences I've had in the past when they make me go psychic detective to research the dark side of the business world and that. And I was like, fuck hell, that sounds like the Illuminati, doesn't it? Like seriously, it was like, aye, anyway. Double mission indeed. Let's not go there. What hidden secrets? Oh my god, and I'm shuffling the hidden secrets. ecstasy, chasing thrills, excitement, good time. I mean, my stomach's going a bit funny with this. What the fuck am I picking up on? Be careful people aren't signing up to things that are, you know, signing your soul away, chasing a good time. Farewells leave behind closure, but whoever done that, you know, as soon as you got into something, you were like, fuck that, I'm leaving that behind. Establish family security. Like, what is this all about? Because bonding, essential, confiding. Yeah, I think, look, this is some of the distorted masculines that have been caught up chasing thrills, good times with the wrong people, the wrong crowd. Love interest, friends, maybe even family that have not got their best interests at heart, and they're like, see you later, I'm off, you're dragging me down. Oh, right. Oh, I've just realised why. Oh, no, but I didn't. I'm at. Wait a minute. Establish family, whatever. This could all fit in because I've mentioned family quite a few times. Bonding, central conviction. Somebody's choosing a union over all of this, right? And so people are angry. Look, I just said people are angry and they're like, fuck, look at all those cards. Resentment, anger, hurtful. That's the karmic people that are angry. But this is also a divine masculine that is now a divine masculine that's come out of distorted energy. It's angry because they abandoned, dismissed, and rejected their divine feminine because of the fear that was drummed into them. Better off, happiness, cleared headspace. This person's better off now. They've got a clear headspace because they can see what was going on. And now, because that's why I was like, oh shit, I haven't done it. They're going to lead me into describing the film I watched last night. So, like, that's what I think this is going to be, like a tour video or something. So, the film is Brittany Runs a Marathon. Now, I watched this years ago and I found it very moving when I watched it because it's definitely about self-love. If you haven't seen it, spoiler alert or trigger warning, it could be triggering because it's definitely about things to do with weight, right? Not being happy with her weight and self-esteem and all of that. So, but I found it really inspiring when I watched it years ago, and just very like I was basically that's what I was meaning by when I watched that film last night. I was actually at one point I was hyperventilating, crying, and it was like I thought. And I felt like I actually felt like I was releasing stuck trauma for my twin, basically. There's no other way to put it, right? Although the film had like nothing to do with like the idea around it of somebody being held back by people that want to keep them at a level that's comfortable for them. If it resonates with if this is a message for the divine masculines, right, it does mean that it's going to resonate with mine too, whether he's been through that bit or not, you know, so we'll shelf that. But I just knew the way I was crying, I was like, this is not my stuff. So it was like I was being guided to watch this, but also I was just, what made me cry was like, just being proud of wherever he's at on that journey, you know what I mean? Which, think of it, that's a fucking bold thing to say, because I'm pretty sure I've said that in the past, and mine was fucking dancing with devils. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, but I still see it because I am. I'm like, I've been at that part of my journey too, where I wasn't. I was repeating karmic cycles with people that didn't have my best interests at heart, and then I woke up to it. So you know what I mean. So anyway, basically, the whole film is basically it's around something that's quite that touched me too, like setting small goals and like you know just not doing it for anyone else, doing it for yourself. But and it just reminded me of like with one of my clients that is one of you, so you'll know who you are. There was she struggles with similar things to me, and I encouraged her to do the set a timer for 25 minutes and just see how much you get tidied up. Then I know that she still uses that, and I still do that for myself too. And it was something that had been passed on to me by, well, actually, it was a decluttering radio show I used to listen to on Hay House. But also the women always used to go on about it, but also it was what was given to me by the occupational health therapist, right? So again, it's like learning tools that work for you and teaching it to others. But yeah, anyway, throughout this whole film, it's like she basically doesn't recognise supportive love, so she pushes it away, and that's what I kind of meant by. I definitely know that's I can't. Oh, every time in a Scorpio moon, it's I mean, I'm grateful it's not every single time, but every time a Scorpio moon is always when they make me go annoyingly close to the bone with my dynamic. But I can't. It's kind of like what I'm. Yeah, basically, I know when it's felt like my twin flame hates me. It's really because he's having difficulty, like believing that somebody loves him that much. Do you know what I mean? Like unconditionally. Like basically. I mean, there's more things I could say about that, but we'll just sort of leave it at that. I mean, that's the case with all twin flames. It's like suspicious. Like, what is this all about, kind of thing. Surely fucking knows it wasn't a trick now though, but it's. um. But anyway, I'm just to keep that in mind. That's all I'm gonna say. That it's like this character I'm describing. Oh, this is a woman. This can definitely be for a man too. So this could be for you. A lot of you watching. But I feel we've all been this person at like a long time ago. This was me at one point. Because I've given loads of stories where when I actually first met my twin flame, my head was still being fucked by somebody else. Like full disclosure, right? So it was like and actually the more and more times like I always just see him as like this ray of sunshine that came to heal me, which I don't think he could hear that enough times, that it's like, but it's a lot of like what I really want to go into. I actually don't want to go into in public. Like, I don't even think I would really want to go in. Well, maybe in the membership I could, maybe, but these are conversations I want to have with my twin flame when he's ready to talk. But it's like that makes sense because that is my twin flame. So it's like at times I feel like he will have done that for me. And for me, that was right at the start when I was stuck being confused and head fucked by someone. I feel he came to save me from that, like because that is absolutely what happened. Um, but not in the way that you might think. It's not like, oh, he's came in knight in shining armor and we've got together, and it wasn't like that. Um, and then I definitely know it's then mirrored, and it's like now it's like I'm helping him out of a dark time, so whatever that may be. So she doesn't recognise the supportive neighbour because she's used to self-absorbed narcissistic friends that are using her and keeping her stuck in toxic cycles. So see how that fits with the rest of what's come through. Like that's literally what I've wrote about that film. Like the neighbour keeps saying like, I'll listen to you, because she hears her crying. She's like, I don't want your help, and it just pushes it away. And so I'm just going to read the notes, right? Her best friend says things to put her down. So yeah, her flatmate and her best friend in this film is like so fucking up herself, narcissistic. Um, they get across in the film that it's like she keeps putting up Instagram stories being like, oh my god, I'm so happy, I'm with my fiance and blah 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 and life's so great. But it's like really because this girl lives with it, it's like, well, no, it actually isn't, and what you're portraying on social media isn't actually the truth. Like one day she comes in and she's split up with a boyfriend, and that's actually when they have an argument and she's really, really nasty. And that's what I mean. That's when you know that's when you know that that's a frenemy or a hidden enemy. When I can think back of when that's happened in the past to me, it's like, that's a red flag, and that's when alarm bells should ring. But I don't know about you, but I still kept a lot of folk around even when they done that. And that's what I mean, because it's like you see it, but you don't want to see it, so you close your eyes to it again. And that's what I feels went on with some people here. So but the best friend's always saying things about her weight and that, you know what I mean? Like she's trying to better herself, and the best friend's like making her feel like shit. So and and you know that it's like she starts actually losing weight through the running, and you can tell the woman's not the friend isn't happy about it. She doesn't support any of her goals. When she's doing well with the running, her best friend, and I've put in best friend in inverted commas, encourages her to go out and sets her back. Yeah, so that's why I feel I knew they guided me to watch that. Because like I said, I hadn't watched it for years, but when I watched it years ago, it really did touch me then too, and I was crying. I couldn't remember what bit upset me so much, but it was right at the end when she's running the marathon. Because again, remember, I didn't run a marathon, but I ran a half marathon, which I still can't believe that I done that. And it's so emotional. And when you do see even just one person cheering you on, even if it's strangers, but if it's people that you know that are cheering you on, it keeps you going. And I knew, so that's why I was crying last night watching that film, because I knew they were telling me some divine masculines. And I know this because I've spoken to a lot of you on Zooms recently and over the years. Some of you don't have anyone, or you feel like you haven't got anybody cheering you on to get you out of these toxic karmic cycles that are dragging you down. So some of you have got really big call-ins and you're going to make a really big change in the world, but you feel like you can't, you almost feel like you can't get to that happiness because you feel like nobody's cheering you on. So it was making me cry because it felt like, you know, for some people watching, I'm that person, and that, I'm just going to, I'm not going to go any further with that because that makes me want to cry. But it's like, hopefully you have got more than just me, whoever's listening to this, people, but lots of people watching haven't, so I am well aware of that. So yeah, but basically I knew when they were telling me that, like, this girl, like, you know, so basically she's, you know, she's training for a marathon because she wasn't feeling good about her weight, she wasn't feeling good about herself in general, her health, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. That can be different reasons for you. It might not be your weight for you, it'll be other things, but the friend's like, come on, let's go and get drunk, party, celebrate. And so I just knew that that was symbolic of, you're trying to better your life, you're trying to, so say you're like in this, like, right, I'm going to get up at 5 in the morning every morning, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to journal, I'm going to do gratitude journal, I'm going to whatever, I'm going to juice. But you've got friends around you, are like, let's go out the weekend, get pissed, and you might think like, oh, that's just people wanting, you know, wanting to be around you because you're so amazing, or like, and I'm sure you are amazing, right? And I'm sure that is part of it too. But let's be honest, sometimes it's because people are not feeling good about their lives, and they want somebody to go out with, and you're going to people please. Sorry to be so blunt, it's true. I've been there myself too, guys, right? And the thing is, you can't, again, it's not about blaming it on like karmic friends as well, because it's, if you end up being the person that goes out in the night out, you must have been in that lower vibration where you're like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just put my dreams to the side, I'll go and do it. But that's why you need to take personal responsibility if that keeps happening over and over and over again, not to do it. Because I reached that point where, like, that's when I parted ways from different types of friends, because I could see that they were still going to party and I wasn't, you know what I mean, like, not as much. And it's like, and yeah, anyway, we'll just leave it. There's usually other things that happen that there's usually shocking tower moments that happen that, like I've described before, you're like, nah, fuck that. But, you know, generally that's what can happen to a lot of us, is you're not on the same page anymore. But just recognise that, because that's manipulation. You know, if you're not recognising that you're being held back, you know what I mean? It's not like they're meaning to hold you back, but if somebody's not happy in their life, they'll hold you back. Right, now this is what was quite funny. So she's job sharing and she meets this guy and he's looking after the flat at night and she's looking at it during the day, but he actually has moved in. So you're not meant to do that, right? Because there's a bit funny bit in the film where the owners come back and they're like, did you pieces of shit move into our house? But it's kind of like, when she's talking about him to her running friends, she's like, you know, I hate him, I very much hate him. And that's what when I saw that film the first time, I thought they're going to end up sleeping with each other. And then the friend says, any tension is sexual tension. It's not true it's not true all the time, guys. But when we're talking about twin flames here, because I always, whenever I'm using a film, I'm keeping that in mind, that karmic energies, twin flames. That is usually the case, right? That there's, like, and especially when there's Scorpio heavy placements, like, you know, like I've got a lot of Scorpio in my chart. My twin flame actually is a Scorpio as well. It's like yeah, there's usually, if there's a lot of sexual tension, it's usually not the story that you hate each other. She keeps pushing away the mother-in-law from the female neighbor. Yeah, so again, and this neighbor keeps trying to help her, and she's like, she actually is really nasty to her, right? But again, when you know what that's about, it's because somebody isn't used to it, and they're just going to be suspicious of you. She starts to bond with the guy who's annoying her, that she's job sharing with, yep. And then the best friend keeps encouraging her to self-sabotage with food and alcohol because she's people-pleasing. I've said that. When she refuses to people-please, her best friend, in inverted commas, goes funny on her and makes it all about her and gets nasty, and she projects all her stuff on her. Yeah, so that's what happens. You know, that's when you find out who the frenemies and enemies are, you know, like open enemies or hidden enemies, when so again, this is really important, because I feel this is what's happening to a lot of people that are on the divine masculine journey, whatever your gender is. Like I said, most people I work with on Zoom, is that you are breaking free of karmic cycles. So whether that be like, you know, that you used to go out and party all the time, you're not doing it as much, and because you're focused on your goals. Because let's face it, I'm just realizing, yesterday I saw a YouTube shorts and it was one of those motivational look, I can't remember his name, but he's been on a podcast, and it's they all say similar kinds of things, but it was something about like you can't think that you're going to be able to, you know, go out at the weekend, do all the same shit that you used to do, live it up, and then be able to Monday morning hit your goals. Like, you know what I mean? It's just it's not realistic. And that's what I'm here to say to people too, is that because people have said to me in the past, like I've really inspired them with how I've kept going with this channel. But that's because I look at what I've just said. I had to let go of the karmic patterns, the karmic cycles, the karmic people that were around me, because I was never going to reach the top of that. I was never going to reach the top of that mountain if I kept on living the life of the way that I was living, and I knew that. And it's like, you know, so it was like I done it for as long as I could, and then I just got sick of my own shit, and I was like, this is self-sabotaging. And so I feel that's where one of you might be at, but just be aware that that's when, you know, best friends, because that's what happens in the silk, can turn on you. And then they can project, you know, they will accuse you of all the stuff that they have got insecurity about. And in that film, it was actually because she was losing weight, she was feeling better, she was healthier, and she was refusing to drink and go on nights out. So the girl was like, well, you're not perfect. There's loads of stuff that you've done that I could pick up on. And then it's just started like personally attacking her. And it's like, that's nasty. And like, it just reached 111. That's when you know that that's like, someone's lost it. The mask has slipped. And it probably means that they've secretly not really been very supportive of you. I don't know about the whole time or a lot of the time, because that's, you can just, I could see it from the start of that film that friend was totally selfish, because she was just like not ever supporting that one with her goals, you know what I mean? So you may be naturally pretty, but you're, oh yeah, and this is when the Brittany, the girl in the film, basically she hits back a little bit to the other one. You may be naturally pretty, but your whole life is about hiding your insecurity. So ouch, but I mean, see through it. When people project their own shit at you, that's what is at the bottom of it. Point blank, full stop. Whether it's a friend, a family member, a karmic partner, even a twin flame. But what's weird with your twin flame is like that's your energy. So you know what I mean. That's why I always say it might always seem like, oh, everyone else can treat you like shit, and you know, close the door on them. But when twin flame does it, do that bit. It's kind of, I just spat there, but it's kind of like it's because it's your own energy. You got to work through that sort of shadow work, but. And anyway, when your twin flame pushes you away, it's only because of, like this film, it's like they're thinking it's a trick, because the other people around them have usually been, yeah, all about themselves, very narcissistic. Like you said, like half the people I speak to, it's not everyone, but a lot of people you can tell it's like they think that that's a friend, but actually it's like really self-involved, narcissistic friends that are all about themselves. And the minute you want to do something better with your life, or you know, put yourself in a better, more successful position, they turn on you. That's not a friend. Get the fuck out of there. That's toxic. um, so, the friend says she will always be a fat girl. Again, is that a friend? No, it's not. That's fucking nasty. She goes on a date and she almost sleeps with him, but he runs away when she realises she's, yeah. So she goes on a date, right, when she's lost quite a bit of weight, and she goes on this date, and they're about, you know, she's about to go to bed with this guy, and then she realizes, what the fuck am I doing? And I feel that's symbolic of when you're insecure and you need lots of attention from people, and maybe it just goes a bit too far and you end up sleeping with somebody, you know, and then you feel shit about it. She didn't actually go through it, but I feel that's going to be symbolic. In life, we're ultimately alone, is what she's learned from a child, yeah, because she says that to one of her friends. And that, again, is about attachment issues, abandonment issues, so that's going to speak to people. Her, and on the job share guy, Bond, he tells her not all men are immature and disrespectful when she shares about men she's met who are like that. And that's true, you know. I think I shared that story once when I remember having that conversation. Oh my God, so many years ago now. How many years would that be? Probably about 14 or 15 years ago. I remember I was talking to, it was a friend's brother, and I remember just describing, actually it was something like, I said something along the lines of like, oh, you know, but if like somebody comes up to your house, then obviously you're going to end up sleeping with them, because like you've basically invited them to your house. So it's like basically like you're saying that's okay. And that's what my mentality was at that time. And he was like, Claire, just because a girl invites you up to their house, I don't expect that means that I'm going to sleep with them. You know what I mean? And I was like, and by the way, I'm not going to go too deep into this, but let me tell you, it's not like I'm making this guy sound like a fucking stand-up guy. Like, you know, this guy was a bit of a boy himself, but you know, that's kind of what was alarm bells for me when I was like, wait a minute, if that's him saying that, you know, and it was just when the most unlikely person gives you like this really profound insight of, oh right, so you don't need to sleep with a guy just because you're chilling out with them, and it's like, how that's so sad, isn't it? Like my 40-year-old self is like, but again, thank God it was so fucking hard for a man to get over the door anyway with me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, like I said, I've not been the type of person that casually texts back and forward or I'm just gonna be really honest. I've said this before, but the few times that I've got into some kind of WhatsApp scenario where I'm messaging somebody back and forwards, it's never ended up well because people do just like it's like they're able to, yeah, a guy could just like really easily manipulate me and I wouldn't be able to fucking see through it back then. And I don't think now, I think fucking hell, good luck to you. But it's you know, it's just good to recognise that about yourself. I must be saying that for a reason. Right, she sleeps with him and oh yeah, so that is actually she sleeps with him and then cries after because she felt connection for the first time. Yeah, so they end up, you know, it's like they've got that wee batting the ball back and forwards, flirty kind of, you know, banter going on, and then they do end up sleeping with each other. Yeah, and she cries because it's like, you know, it's she feels really connected to him. And again, that is what fucking, you know what I mean? That is what that's meant to be about. Maybe no every time. I mean, that'd be a bit intense, fucking hell, but that does sound like twin flame sex, mind you. Look, loving elementals. Oh my god, and be careful because there's a baby on that card. It's like that and that can equal that. But look, sexual union. Honour the place in one another where you're one eternal soul, for there you'll find true bliss. But to be serious, that did just fall on the ground. So I feel that's about the, you know, the spirit babies that want to come in through powerful people, and that's why twin flame unions get sabotaged because ultimately, look, victory, like when these children do actually incarnate, they're going to change the world. So they have to stop that before it even gets anywhere near that. Before the two people are even thinking about that, they want to split true twin flames away apart. And think about it, some will be successful because some twin flames like will be past childbearing age and stuff. And look, the War of the Roses. And so I feel really that I just think that's horrendous for some of the people that that's happened to. That it's like, you know, it must be part of the light of the world. That's some of the divine masculines. It's like you're carrying like this bright light that's got the power to change the world. You remember what I've always said there about like all the cat card, all the cards with the cats on it, or jealousy and all this kind of stuff, like all these different decks. And like that's a boy looking down at a cat. So that could be symbolic of like somebody's karmic energy, distracting them from what they're here to do. Creating what like that could be people that turn twin flames against each other. War of the Roses, because that's that film where a couple are arguing. Anyway, she starts setting boundaries and saying no to people's demands that take away from her dreams and goals. And she says, "I'm making a whole new Brittany, and I'm focused on my goals and getting back into advertising." And then she sees that the narcissistic ex-best friend wants. Oh yeah, and then that's so you know that's what she says to her brother-in-law, who's meant to be like a father figure in that film. And so basically, it takes a lot because she's basically saying no to people that usually should people please to focus on herself. So I know that they were saying to me, there's a lot of you that are peeling yourselves away from codependency and you're saying no and putting up boundaries to people around you, whoever it is in your life, and they don't like it. You get a lot of pushback when you do that with people. I mean, I know because I went through it in my personal life and it was rough, but I go through it in my business too. You know, when like people are used to me being one way, and then when I tighten up my boundaries, you know, they don't like it either. And it's just, but I get it because it's just I'm always teaching people about boundaries, but sometimes it's in a way like that, like I've wrote, she sees her narcissistic ex-best friend, and by the way, I'm calling her a narcissistic best friend because she really is in this film. Like, you'll see what I mean. Because, you know, not everyone's is that strong, but I mean, with most people, there is an element of that trait. Right, so she sees this friend out and about, right, and the friend's like, oh, it'd be really good to meet up sometime. And then she says, you know, no, I'm not, because I can't, because I'm going to run. And that was because when they were arguing, the friend said, you're not a serious runner. You know, you're always going to be the fat girl. So, I mean, how nasty is that? And that's what I mean. If anybody's friend out there ever says anything like that to you, fucking run. I mean, that was a good pun because the film's about running, but run. Like, they're showing you who they really are. Like, that's just, you know, there can be things that happen through drink, and you know, I think that can sometimes be, well, you know, a lot of the time the truth can come out with that. That is true. But sometimes, you know, you can go a bit loopy on drink. I mean, speaking for myself, I can definitely go loopy on drink, but definitely if you've ever had a sober argument with somebody, and they because in that film it's a sober one, um pay attention, because that's somebody that's really not able to control, like the mask has slipped. Right, so the neighbour and her male running friend give her money for the marathon for inspiring them. She pushes the love and care away, bless me, calling it pity, and that she wants to do it on her own. Yeah, and that reminded me of like divine masculines that could push your love away and your support away if you offer to help them. But that could even be energetically too, but that could be literally, because again, it's like they're used to handling things themselves. That's how it's always been. And also, like, people, because in that film, it's a brilliant example because she's just highly suspicious of basically anybody who's been nice to her, which is really sad. But there's loads of people that are like that. I mean, I'm like that too, but not in a kind of, like I said, I've had therapy and I've done healing around it. Unfortunately, I don't think I need to explain why I'm like that. I'm like that because even when I do actually let my guard down and trust people in any area of life, they do end up betraying me. It's just a fucking fact. At least I could laugh about it. But like I said, the people that I call best friends around me, they really are best friends, and I don't need any more best friends. You know, that's how I got myself into that position, by calling too many people a best friend when they actually weren't. So I've learned my lesson with that. I was being naive, really. So I feel that somebody else might resonate with that too. I mean, you can really get on with people, but not everybody is your best friend. Some people are getting close to you just to like tap you for your, you know, your energy or your ideas and stuff. So be aware of that. You know what I mean? What else was I going to say? Right. So I've put abandonment issues. Oh yeah, and then that's what's sad. And she says, I'm telling you the whole film here, but it's like it's just, you know, watch it yourself, but it's relevant to the message. She says to the guy that she's sleeping with, right? They're just falling in love, but she's like, we're just having sex, right? We're not dating, because I could never date you. Like, and she says it's really horrible. But again, she does like him, but it's because she's protecting herself. You know, like, I'm going to leave you before you leave me, or I'm going to draw the line before you draw the line. And so, you know, he's like, oh, yeah, yeah, but you can see he's hurt, so it's quite sad. And then she gets a stress fracture in her foot, self-sabotage from overdoing it, and that's after she pushes all the people away. So she pushes her two running friends away, she pushes the guy she's sleeping away, you know, she pushes everyone away, basically, and then she self-sabotages by overdoing it. So that could be somebody overworking, you know, or overdoing it in whatever other way. And then symbolic of divine masculine, self-sabotaging, or being held back by karmic patterns and people. And then I said she's horrible to the guy she's sleeping with when he's trying to be nice to her, when divine masculine pushes divine feminine away. The homeowners come back and kick them out of their house. Yeah, I said that, but she ignores the guy's calls and her friend's calls, and then she self-medicates with wine again at her sister's house because she's sad missing the marathon. Yeah, because she ends up missing the marathon. And then that's what's so amazing, is she ends up missing the marathon. She has to wait a whole year, right? But on that whole year, she works on the basically, so that was so symbolic. I knew that was symbolic of what I've described before, when a divine masculine was working on themselves, and then they get pulled back to the past. They get pulled back by the friends, the family, you know, going back to a karmic ex-lover, just basically going back to a comfort zone, and then it taking a whole other year or longer to get to where you want to be. But the good news is, she then, after a year, gets herself in a good place and she runs a marathon. That's why I was howling, because I knew, although it's just a really amazing film anyway, I knew that it was symbolic of setbacks in a divine masculine's life, but then getting to the bit, I just click my fingers to getting to where you need to be and actually finally running that race, getting to the end and basically getting away from what's holding you back. Basically you can't heal in the place that made you ill, right? And unfortunately a lot of people were feeling ill or you're feeling drained from the people around you. Like it's just, a fact. Yeah, but anyway, when she's at her sister's house, she actually like this bigger girl comes to the lunch and she ends up projecting her own insecurity or, and making comments about her weight and that and then um and then so her brother-in-law has a word with her and is like, look, you need to let people in and stop pushing people away and stop, hurting people that are not deserving it. So that's going to resonate too. If you're a masculine that's done that, push people away, or I don't know, maybe even being nasty to people when it was your own stuff you're projecting and you don't realise it in the moment, you realise it later. And they said the marathon was about you taking responsibility for yourself. You've got to stop being mean. People care and they want to help you. So I wrote that bit down. And then she says, yeah, I should let them. And so she sends flowers to the person that she didn't know that she basically abused at this lunch by and she said, look, I'm sorry I projected my own insecurity on you. And then the woman says, look, I know your pain and I wish you well. And you've got this kind of thing. And then, oh yeah, so this might be really specific, right? Because I've wrote here the friend's husband pulls a dirty trick with custody proceedings because that's what happens in that film. And then basically Brittany is a good friend to her because that woman was the woman that was supporting her with running. I actually do know that is specific to some conversations that I've had in the past sort of few months. So, because remember, like that, I deal with a lot of people that have things to do with court and things like that. Brittany is the friend back to her she needs. She's learning to connect genuinely rather than people pleasing narcissists. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So it's like, so it feels like divine masculines that are learning to be a proper friend, like how to receive the love, but also to give that love and support. And I feel that's if somebody's truly in that divine masculine energy, they're not going to want to go towards their divine feminine until they've learned how to do that because they want to give back what you've given to them, and it does make sense. Although you may really want to see them. And again, I must stress that's only the ones that are away from the toxic karmic people. If somebody's still in a toxic karmic romantic relationship, they still might have a way to go before reaching that point. But some are out of that. If some of you are out of that, well, right, what else is here? Yeah, and then she says, yeah, I don't think we should have sex. It's not the best thing for me when she meets up with the guy that she hurt. And then he says, what if it's more than sex? And she says, look, we need to figure out our shit. Can we just be friends? And then she gets embarrassed, right? And he's like, you're getting really embarrassed by saying, let's be friends, because it's connected, right? And so it's quite a cute wee bit. And I feel that that's symbolic of like, when you come back together with your true twin flame, depending on what the dynamic was, but I would say, especially if you were just all about this. I mean, if it's that kind of sex, carry on, right? Because that looks sacred. That doesn't look like, anyway. But you know what I mean? If it was just about hooking up and, chucking your bodies about, especially if you're chucking your bodies about when you're drunk, whatever, like it's about, slowing down and actually becoming each other's friend, right? And then it goes to like it's a year later and she managed to run the marathon successfully, and I've put symbolic of divine masculine having setbacks but succeeding in the end. Like basically we all get, I've been pulled back to the past, right? I've given loads of examples. I'm not going to use another 30 minutes to describe things I've already described, but I've had loads of things in the past that have kept pulling me back, and I had to keep repeating the same lessons until I was like, no, fuck this. And then, like I said, unfortunately, that did mean moving away from pretty much not all of, but the majority of a lot of the people that were around me, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to grow beyond where I was being around the same people. And again, yeah, a lot of it, I feel it is because, like, who knows who was actually rooting for me there, because there wasn't a lot of evidence half the time. So she remembers when she started saying just one step, one block. Yeah, that's actually that's what's weird. That's what triggered me off to start crying, because when she was getting towards the end of the race, she was like visualizing when she was about to go a walk on the block, when when she first started just getting into it, and she was like, look, just one block, just one block. So that's symbolic of you saying to yourself, just I'm going to run for 20 minutes today, just 20 minutes, I'm going to run for 10 minutes, you know, or I'm going to start by drinking lemon water every day. you can tell that one's mine. You know, or I'm gonna give up doing this. I don't know, right? Whatever, blah blah blah. Whatever it is. Or I'm gonna start by just like whenever somebody asks me to do something I don't want to do, I'm gonna start by practicing saying no. Like that could be a good one for if you're a people pleaser. Which, by the way, it gets easier, but it can still be uncomfortable. Just to be honest with you, I just have to be, you know, some of us, we're always going to find that a bit difficult. It's not like I find it really easy. I find it easier to do. But so I always stress that, you know, to people that if I've ever had to say no to somebody and it's, or, you know, be assertive, then know that that's not easy for me to do. So, but yeah, so oh yeah, it was because the song that comes on is you'll know if you know dance songs. I can't remember what it's called, but it made me cry because one of my friends from my past that was actually one of the few that didn't. It's not like we didn't fall out or anything. It's just she's a bit younger than me, and a lot of times just went past. And but yeah, that it always makes me think of her because for some reason I think we just both liked that song. And I remember one night, like I don't know, I think we were going to go out or something. We ended up not going out and just staying in and dancing about the house, being fannies, basically, like you know, like having a laugh. But it just always makes me just funny memories. Right. She gets cramp and then sees her friends cheering her on and finds the strength to keep going. And then she sees her male friend, you know, the one that becomes her boyfriend, and she shout and then he shouts, "I love you, you're doing it, Brittany." And I was fucking gone, man. I'm gonna start crying again. I was fucking hyperventilating crying because it was like it just I knew they were saying to me it's like, you know, when some of yous are like trying to get out of really toxic situations and everything's going against you and it's like your own twin flame or me, like I said, or me for some of you, is like you can do it. Like, you know, I know this is difficult, but you can do it. And that just that had me really and also when she's struggling and it looks like she's going to not finish the race, this random woman's like, you know, can I give you some help? And it's really beautiful when she's like, yeah, because it's like that, you know, for obvious reasons she's found it really difficult and she pushes all the help away, so it's just like symbolic of she's now allowing the loving. And then yeah, and then the film ends and she's like, you see him saying to her, "We've got a big problem, we can't keep having sex out of wedlock." And then she says, "Are you fucking serious? I'm not marrying you." And then when she leaves to go a run, she shouts, "Love you." So, you know, you don't really know what's going on. You're like, are they casually sleeping with each other? Are they like, have they been dating? You know, it's just quite lovely. Yeah, so anyway, that's that. So yeah, not 2 hours, 90 minutes. But let's now see what ties in here, because the whole gist of that is I feel that'll make sense to both Divine Feminine's, the journey that you've been on in the past, possibly some of you are still in, and Divine Masculines, what a lot of them are in now or recently come out of. Or where you can be if you don't want to be stuck with narcissistic people holding you back. Change. How amazing is that? I can't take credit, it's God speaking through me. Yeah, change is possible. But also look, that's a vehicle with the bags packed. CM could be significant. The initial CM, somebody's names could be distant horizons. Yeah. Look, somebody's that card's always about like somebody's on the distant horizon. Child, now if you think about it, although that can have things to do with children, that feels like somebody's healed, that have reparented themselves and their inner child. I mean, male. Look, this is, I knew, like, I mean, it's not like me saying I knew, it's like I knew because I knew what they were telling me when I was watching the film. It's like after being in bad health, because when you're around people that are holding you back, draining your energy. So this main male maybe have been going through bad health through the changes that they're trying to make could still be in bad health, because they've been picking up in bad health with a lot of people. And it could be, look, it could be from overworking, occupation, because remember, she hurts her ankle and it basically fucks up what her main goal was to run the marathon, because she overdid it. So there's a huge lesson for anybody that's with whatever. Yeah, and then you're in poverty and you're in lack. It doesn't always mean money. It wasn't that for her. It was she was in poverty because it's like, wait a minute, I've just fucked up my dreams. I wanted to run the marathon, but not forever. It was just a delay. She learned a valuable lesson. Look, that she thought the dream was dead, but it wasn't dead. It was just delayed. Official person, and then that person came to help. And this is always the card that's about, the Tower card, big changes as well. That's a masculine thinking about a feminine. And wanting to journey towards them. Look, there's another guy with bags packed, getting on the train, leaving the past behind. Somebody that stepped into high honour. This feels like a masculine that's done the work, basically. Yeah, sudden wealth, but it was in reverse, so somebody could have been, that's what it feels like too, somebody could have had, it does, there's a bit of this from what I said at the start, you know, whatever that, all that shit was at the start, it does feel like somebody had a setback, and I feel it's clearly going to be something to do, like, false person's probably going to come out, oh, there she is, look, oh my god, sorry I laughed, but fucking hell, I knew it, you know, and also it was on the bottom of the deck, which is what you don't know, it's hidden. So what they're saying is, like, that's exactly what I've said before. This is about a divine masculine, or all the divine masculines, that they were actually getting their shit together. You know, they were making plans, they had goals about every area of their life. Possibly some of them even had a goal to go towards a divine feminine. And in comes Cha-Cha, the scene in Greece, you know. Kick sand out of the way. Somebody, a false person came in and pulled a masculine back to the past and set them back. And look, there's CM again. What's that all about? CM is on the car and CM is on the... So again, that could just be like, you know, people's surnames or whatever, but like surnames and first names, and I mean, that's like, that's kind of like Manic Claire Marie is CM, but it's like, yeah, just I keep seeing the C and the M here. That looks like an S too, but that's interesting. I wonder, I've never read that book before. I just say whatever when it comes out, but I do feel that somebody could have been in quite a good place, right? 777, you know, on their spiritual journey, and yeah, somebody set them back. Look, a false community, a thief. Stole from the wealthy man. What in the fuck is all this? Holy fuck, by the way. See what I mean about whatever all that was at the start, whatever they used as an example, it will mean something. A false community, a false person was behind a community that's stole energy, or could have stole literally, like, made a wealthy man not wealthy. Something could have went to court and left this man in despair and having to work, like, toil and labour, and then that's like, look, that's a divine feminine. Like, where are they? Like, I really felt they were coming, and like, that's like the moment you maybe find out what's been going on, concern, the message that wasn't coming. Look, adjudication in reverse. How, look, what is all this? A message that never arrived. Adjudication in reverse. Something's injustice. Maybe over some kind of house. A lover's connection and a courtship. A marriage in reverse. Imprisonment. Main female. Family room. Ooh. Anyway. Yeah, that fits with whatever I picked up with at the start, I feel. Didn't I use the word swindled? Somebody's been a false person, and it feels like it's like, you know, this is a classic case of a karmic partner that wasn't in love with a masculine. They just knew they could have them and get in the way of something, so they done it. But also it's like never just going to be for that. They want something out of the masculine. Whether it's just, you know, it's not always just sex. It could be like, it's like, you know, money usually. But they'll put attachments onto the person's root chakra to make them feel concerned, you know, to make them feel some type of way. Message of concern. Oh, concern and message of concern. I think this is the moment where, if this is making sense to you, like, you find stuff out. Like, gift and grateful. But anyway, they're just saying, just whatever all that shit means, we're just leaving that there. Because there's some kind of gift coming and a great fortune for going through that stuff. And changes here. Leaving that behind, yeah. Leaving that behind, and then she comes out again. Leaving the false person behind. And yeah, family room in reverse. So this could even be somebody, this could, family room, that could be a false family member, karmic family member, or it could be like a karmic lover that somebody created a family with. Unexpected income could be coming. Sudden, to make up for the sudden wealth that was lost. And then, yeah, and the changes, somebody's going towards a true union, a divine union. Somebody, I feel that somebody's coming towards your house. And again, but it's like, I feel this is because somebody's going to have to explain, yeah, look, soon, distant out, somebody's going to have to explain the journey that they've been on. What does that say? Not hiring. Bad health. Yeah, look, this is somebody that's been in bad health after what they went through. Bad health and despair. But that's dead now. That situation's dead. Again, sorry if, you know, there might be a handful of, this might be that somebody literally died. So paying my respects and prayers if that is the case. But I feel that's just saying that situation's dead, right? This person, when they get to this point, they've moved through that. I think that's the equivalent of running the race thing. Like, you know, that's just, yeah, and it's like, but this feminine's like still in the dark about a false community. But it's kind of like, look, I'm a divine feminine. Look at how I pick up on this every day. And it's like, it's not just me. There's other people that are picking up the exact same storyline. And like I said, I've been picking up on this for fucking ages. But then I've saw people picking it after me. But it's current again. Even though I've been bringing through this for months, there's current again that it's like, because it's timeless energy, that a karmic, like, community of people, so friends and family and someone's lover, and, you know, could have been like keeping somebody over, working, busy, distracted. That's what I wrote in the comments, actually, of the video yesterday, because that's what I got from when the phone flipped around, that it was like, whatever I wrote in the comments, it was quite a powerful written download that came through, actually. Well, if you look in the, yeah, poverty. Look, this karmic community was trying to keep this person in lack. But then this person may have got support from, like, official people, because they could, yeah, to get off the wrong pathway, going the wrong way. Look, courthouse, like, there's something about courthouse here. And there, isn't it weird in that film that I did mention that bit about, like, you know, because that's injustice in that film, that it was something like, what they used against the women was, yeah, it was dirty tactics. It was something that actually wasn't what it looked like. But that's people play dirty with shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? They will pull out things. Yeah, somebody's going to be making a journey to their divine feminine. There's going to be a message coming. Something significant about the 10th of July or the 7th of October. Yeah, male and female. So somebody's going to be sending a message and journeying towards the divine feminine. And because they're putting a thief behind them, and yeah, and toil and labour, 38 as well, they want to highly honour the divine feminine. Mature women, so the mature women, I put it on that too. So it's like, mature women could this could be somebody that's supporting the divine masculine, or it could be somebody that's holding them back. Mature man in reverse, I think, because the mature man's in reverse, that's somebody that was contributing to holding. To be honest, because I've put them on that set, for some reason I feel like that's karmic energies. Yes, these people were holding back a lover's connection, a child. So again, I have mentioned things to do with children here too. So this time I do think there's going to be children involved. So perhaps, like, look, that could be like people having to look after their child. Wealthy man in reverse, like responsibilities. A divine masculine. Look, divine feminine, divine masculine. So that's definitely divine masculines that have got responsibilities with children that they need to look after. But it doesn't mean they're not always thinking about their divine feminine. They could also be married to a karmic feminine, because we've got marriage in reverse, but that could be somebody that's divorced or split up, but they feel trapped. And so that's just a wee hint that if people are married to the wrong person, they're not staying for the marriage, they're staying for the kids, right? A common story for a lot of twin flames, but like, they feel trapped. And perhaps that is a divorce because now it ends on adjudication, and it's 144. I'm going to end it there, guys. That message was really intense, and that's funny because that was naturally ending it on 144 now because I just looked at the timer when I said it. So please like, comment, subscribe, and holy shit.